Good morning, Dr. Papa here. We are going to talk again about some stuff in High Realms. So without further ado, let's get into it. Today we are going to take a look at the Moola Mega Mine. You'll notice my spawn has been set to spawn directly into here. Here we go. After I do the demo of the Moola Mega Mine, I will walk you through how I built it. So the purpose of the Moola Mega Mine is to allow me to get maximum mastery for all of the remaining plants that I have. So right now, the only masteries that I have totally completed are wheat and watermelons. This will allow me to get my masteries completed in all the rest: potatoes, corn, tomatoes, carrots, etc. Even the white mushrooms. I am using the Moola scythe, which is cruising through here, and it's not only collecting all the plants in a 3x3 stretch, but it is also replanting at the same time. I have set up these guides on either side so I don't have to worry about direction. All I have to do is run and keep the mouse button pressed so that I can get all of these. I really wish I had more pumpkins, but I'll have to do with what I have. The pumpkins will not be completed by the time I complete everything else. I'll just have to continue doing those for a while. You will notice that the corn is in a single row rather than the triple like the other ones. It's because it's too tall and you can't put a block above it to help do my guide like I did on everything else. Same thing for the tomatoes. You can't do a block above the plants like we were doing for the shorter plants. So the guides don't work there, so in those cases I drop this down to a single lane and then continue to do my running. The total farm here is approximately 6,700 plants. The majority of them, by far, over half, are all white mushrooms, as you'll see in a moment. But we have a sizable amount of red potatoes and strawberries as well. Regarding plant XP, the higher the plant, the lower the XP you're getting per plant. So it takes you longer to complete your masteries for each one of those plant varieties. Pumpkins and watermelons take the longest. Wasn't a big problem for me on watermelons because I was planting close to 1,000 at a time to get my mastery so that I could be able to make watermelon blocks. We are continuing to run through. We've gone through potatoes and strawberries and pumpkins and corn. I do them in that order because of grow rates. I want this to be able to be as soon as I'm done making the complete run through the entire Mega Mine, I want it to be not only replanted, but ready for harvest again by the time I get to the other end. I did some calculations of how long the rows needed to be to get there. And once I calculated that, I was able to calculate the ratio of how many plants I needed per crop type in order to have all of these, with the exception of pumpkin, finishing at the same time. Now, I will have to run through this mine multiple times to get there, Nevertheless, I'm doing a massive amount of experience with each and every run. I'll be sure to add in text when I edit the video the name of the players that contributed to my mushrooms. I didn't have near enough mushrooms. There were 3 players that all donated to the cause, so to speak. And one of them donated massive amount of mushrooms. Special shout out to them. And we'll get those names in text in the video so that everybody gets the credit they should receive. And we are nearing the end of the planting. Looks like we're missing a few mushrooms every now and then. Let me slow down to a walk on the mushrooms instead of the run. There are approximately 3,400 mushrooms that are in this Moola Mega Farm, allowing me to get a pretty sizable amount of XP from them. And when I drop off, I go back to the spawn, and as you can see, all the way up through corn is already ready to harvest, so I can just keep running this as many times as I want to run it. So I'm going to pause this portion of the video here, and let's get rid of this and show you how I built this in case you would like to do your own. We're just going to go over here a couple blocks so as to not max that or mess that up. So first of all, each lane is 3 wide plus the border. And then we're going to need this. We plow the ground. Now, granted, with this being more than 6,000 in length, this was a much bigger process. But basically, all you're going to do is you're going to take this lane, and I will show you also how we do a turn. So we need a full 3x3 block there. Turn. 3x3 block there. And then since when I was planning my thing, I knew I was going to use a spawn block to get me back to the start. So I went ahead and placed the spawn block. It helped while I was building. at least for the most part. And then once I got closer to the other end, it was a bit of a pain to have the spawn block down here, so I moved it back down to the other side and then put it back here when I was done. I'm only going to put carrots in here because they're a relatively fast growing crop. And then once the crops were in place, before I did any farming, I set a block up on the top edge. And did this guide rail on both the left and right sides so that it would keep me running on the correct path and I don't have to worry about anything other than keeping the mouse clicked. And that's how I did it. And so then run through here with the Moola scythe going around, get through the end, it drops you off. Your spawn block is back over here in the middle, and then it'll take you back around for the next run. This is a microcosm of the larger Moola Mega Mine. Sorry, not Mega Mine, the Moola Mega Farm. Um, if you're interested in macroing this, I would suggest that you go check out DV's channel. He's done a number of AFK mines with using macros and so forth. That's outside the scope of what I'm going to talk about today. But I'm going to go run a couple laps and see how much XP I can get done. See you in High Realms. Have a great day.